Hi, class. I hope you have gotten off to a good start with lesson one. This is lesson two. This is your video for lesson two, and I'm going to be breaking down half notes for you today. So at the top of the screen, you see the exact thing that was written here yesterday. Rhythm is the most basic building block of music. Different types of musical notes determine how long or how short a sound is. Remember yesterday when we did whole notes, I sang la and I sang lu and I held those notes for 4 whole beats and the sound did not stop. It kept going for 4 beats. Those were whole notes. Whole notes are worth 4 beats. It takes up the entire, we call this a measure, right? The space between bar lines. So the whole note takes up the entire measure, the entire space between each bar line. So it gets 4 beats. Nothing else can fit inside that measure. So today we're talking about half notes. Half notes are not worth 4 beats. They are only worth 2 beats. So if you're pretty good at, math and geometry, this should all make perfect sense to you. So we still need 4 beats to fill up our entire measure here. But instead of one whole note, it's almost like we take that whole and we cut it in half and we end up with 2 half notes. 2 plus 2 is 4. Okay, so when we write out the counts for our half notes, we give it 1-2 for the first one, and then for the next one, we give it 3-4. So you need 2 half notes in the measure to equal 1 whole note. Okay? So we have a half note here, we have a half note here, and then we have a bar line, because right now we only have room for 4 beats in the measure. 2 beats for the first half note, 2 beats for the second half note. We have a bar line, and then we come to another measure. 2 beats for the first half note, 2 beats for the second half note. Okay, so if I ask you how many beats do we have in all, in total, with the first measure and the second measure, you would say 8 beats. Here are 2 beats, here are 2 more, here are 2 more, and here are 2 more. We have 8 beats in all, okay? 4 beats for our first measure and 4 beats in our second measure. If we look back at whole notes, which we did yesterday or today, depending on when you're doing this lesson, if we added up our total number of beats in four measures, measure number 1, measure number 2, measure number 3, and measure number 4, if we added all those beats together, we would have 16 beats. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Okay, so we have 16 beats here, we have 4 measures, and then when we get to our half note page, we have just 8 beats and we have 2 measures. Now, I could easily make this into 16 beats. All I would have to do is add a couple more measures on. But just for the sake of the space that we have on the screen here, we'll just stick with these 2 measures. So if I were to sing la and hold it for 2 beats, it would sound like this. La, 1, 2. Okay? Now, if I were to sing that first measure, the whole first measure, 2 half notes, it would sound like la, la. Okay? Now, if I were to sing that whole thing, both measures together, I would need 4 half notes. And so it would sound like la, 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 la. So 4 times I had to put up my fingers. 1, 2. I had to do that 4 times in order to get through 4 half notes. All right. So that's your lesson for today. We are just under 5 minutes. We made it. Be sure to answer the questions in the rest of the lesson and check back again tomorrow for lesson 3.